And right now, we want to take you live to St. Catharines, where Premier Doug Ford and several of his ministers are making an announcement. We'll listen in live.
Niagara is one of the best tourist destinations anywhere in the world, and with the collaboration and cooperation with the region and the local mayors, we're going to do some incredible things in Niagara. This region attracts over 12 million visitors every year, enjoying the beautiful views of the falls, the vineyards, casinos, and gaming. And that's, that's a famous Niagara hospitality. When you come here, folks, when you have people from around the world, we live in such a multicultural province. When you have friends come in, you have to come down to Niagara Falls. So today, I'm thrilled to announce that we're expanding GO Train service to Niagara even more, making it easier, faster, and more convenient for people and families to visit this beautiful region. Starting tomorrow, the number of round trips between Union Station and Niagara Falls will more than double. This includes it's exciting. This includes 2 new round trips every weekday and 1 new daily round trip every weekend. That makes for a total of 21 round trips every week. That never has happened in as long as I can remember. It hasn't happened. So 21 round trips every single week. We also will be introducing more express train service between Hamilton, Burlington, and Toronto. And once again, GO Trains will be stopping right here at the St. Catharines Via Station. Friends, this expanded GO service will be a huge boost for the people and the businesses of Niagara region. It will help attract more tourists to the region, creating more jobs, and be an economic driver for local hotels and restaurants and other attractions and businesses. And for Niagara's region's growing population, it will provide daily commuters with more service, more options, and more convenience. It will help fight gridlock on our roads and reduce travel times, allowing people to spend more time at home with their families rather than sitting there and stuck in bumper traffic. They'll be there with their families. Friends, our government has a plan to build Ontario, helping people, businesses, and communities today while laying a strong foundation for generations to come. We're creating the conditions for businesses to thrive and jobs to grow in every part of the province. I love saying these numbers because they keep growing. I think at one time it was 600,000, then it was 650. Folks, with your help, with the businesses' help, with the municipalities' help, there's 670,000 more people working today than before we took office in 2018, and I contribute that to all the great people here in Ontario. And we're investing over $70 billion in the biggest transit expansion. They say Canadian history, but I say in North America. Right now, that's the largest transit project anywhere, including new subways and reliable rail options from Niagara in the west to Bowmanville in the east and to Timmins and Cochrane in the north. And while we expand our transit system, we're investing $25 billion over 10 years to build new roads and highways, including Highway 413, the Bradford Bypass, and the QEW Garden City Skyway Bridge twinning project. We're building the transportation infrastructure our economy needs to reach its full potential, to keep people and goods moving. Together with our partners, we are building Ontario now and for the future. Thank you all for joining us, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now take questions. Just a reminder, it's 1 question, 1 follow-up.
Good morning, Premier.
Good morning.
Jason Gadola with CHCH News. I believe you were asked last week in regards to St. Catharines Mayor mentioning about the homelessness and the drug use that's happening in the downtown core of St. Catharines. Could you elaborate on what you're mentioning about having more drug rehab centers than before tackling the housing issue? I was wondering if you can elaborate and expand on your explanation on that.
Sure, I appreciate that. We've seen spending go right up. We're giving more money to all regions around Ontario. I'll give you an example. Niagara region, St. Catharines, they have an 86% increase from $9.6 million to $20.8 million. I see the problems. I'm visiting these towns. I see it in Hamilton, and then Hamilton's the funds went up over 18% increase. We're going to be there for them, but you're right. I'm a strong believer in rehabilitation centers, and going back to Hamilton again, we went from 4.3% to an increase of $27.9 million. I apologize, 4.3 million to 27.9 million. We're going to be there for the municipalities. Again, these people need the support. They need to be in rehabilitation, and we're going to be there to help them.
The city of Hamilton city staff was exploring sanctioned encampment sites in the city to kind of mitigate the encampment issue that's happening in Hamilton. What is your province ready to step in and maybe take a little bit more action to help expedite people being housed there?
Well, again, we're increasing the funding to $27.9 million. Our goal is to make sure that people have a place to call home, no matter if it's a little apartment or whatever. We can't have people setting up camps in these cities. We just can't have it. So we need to support the cities in making sure that they have proper housing, and we're going to be there for them.
Hi, Premier. It's Siobhan Morris from CTV.
Hi, Siobhan.
We'd heard some concerns yesterday about the timeline for the de-amalgamation of Peel. What's the rush in getting this done?
Well, it's not a rush. You can go two ways here, and I've talked to the mayors, talked to Mayor Crombie, talked to Mayor Brown as well, and I left a message for Mayor Groves. I'm sure she'll probably call me right now. We have two ways of doing it. You slow roll this, and slow rolling is 2.5, 3 years, or they sit around the table and with the transition team and the facilitator, and we move forward. This is about giving them the independence to run their own cities, not worry about another level of government overruling them. They want it. We gave it to them. I promised Hazel many years ago that I believe, and she believed, that a city almost 800,000 people should be independent. I agree, and I'll tell you, the phone calls have been ringing off the hook with other mayors saying, hey, I want my independence. We're the only government, just think of it, in the history of Ontario, that's actually given people their independence, giving the municipalities a strong mayor system until they can make decisions and move things forward. So this is a really good thing. I'm sure they'll sit down and there'll be a few disagreements, but at the end of the day, they both want it. They're both going to get it.
You said your phone's ringing off the hook with other mayors asking for independence. Who?
Well, I'm not going to name names. That's not fair to them. But everyone wants to, call their own shots per se, and I don't disagree with them. Maybe it goes back to my roots as city council. And I always hate upper tier governments, dictating here, there, and the other thing. We're there to support them. We're there to fund them provincially, and so is the federal government. But they have to make decisions themselves. No one knows their towns and cities better than the mayors and the city councilors. I walked a mile in their shoes. You're on their front doorstep. You're dealing with Mrs. Jones cracking the sidewalk or a pothole and everything in between. Again, no one knows their regions better than the local representatives.
Hi, Premier. Good morning. Laura
Hi.
Stone, Globe and Mail.
Hi, Laura.
On the Stellantis deal, I understand Ontario and Ottawa have been in negotiations, and it's my understanding that your government is willing to now spend more money on the deal. Can you elaborate on that and provide details as to what you're willing to do?
Sure. Well, I'm not going to get into the full details until the announcement comes out, but this is all about protecting jobs and the people. That's what it comes down to. Down in Windsor, before we came into office, You could shoot a cannon down the street in the middle of downtown and you wouldn't hit anyone. This is going to be an opportunity to people to get great paying jobs. It's going to bring certainty and stability within that region. You know, folks, our plan, working with, again, the municipalities and the federal government in Ontario, I've had an opportunity to talk to ambassadors and consul generals and governors all throughout the world, and obviously down in the States. Man, with the cooperation of everyone, we are doing well here in Ontario. You know, it's a quality of life, not only for the people to live and raise a family, but a quality of life for businesses to come here and open up. We right now, we're moving in the right direction with the cooperation, again, with the municipalities, federal government, because, folks, it's us versus the world when it comes to attracting these companies to Ontario. And as much as the world is a massive place, and when it comes to the auto sector or the tech sector or life science sector, it's very, very small, and everyone talks. And the word on the street right now around the world is come to Ontario, invest in Ontario. It's one of the greatest places in the world to live, work, and open a business.
Okay, thank you. You sort of confirmed there, but can you just confirm that Ontario is going to provide more money for this deal, and will it be significantly more than what was provided, the $500 million that you've talked about?
I will confirm we're putting more money on the table there. This is all about saving jobs and giving people the quality of life they deserve in southwestern Ontario. And this is really exciting, no matter if it's Stellantis or if it's Volkswagen. Folks, the place to be is right down in southwestern Ontario if you need a job. And we're doing the same here in Niagara. We're working hand in hand with the chair. Chair Bradley came to our office, brought some local mayors. It's about communicating, sitting across the table. Forget about these political stripes. I know I sound like I'm preaching all the time, but I can't stand these political stripes. We work so well with the chair and mayors of other political stripes. We all have something in common. We want to make sure we have the best quality of life for our residents in every community. But there's no more beautiful place than here in Niagara. So I encourage everyone, please, this summer, come by down to the Niagara region, go on the wine tours, go down to the Niagara Falls, stay in a hotel, go out for dinner. This is gorgeous down here.
Good morning.
All right, Premier Doug Ford taking questions from reporters and making an announcement in St. Catharines saying that the region sees 12 million visitors each year, and as of tomorrow, GO Train service will double in that region. It'll see 21 new round trips every week from Toronto to Niagara back and forth. Also answering questions about the Stellantis deal, saying that the Ford government is putting more money on the table.